something. Finally, finally, it's happening to me on my face. Like I'm playing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Child, they was trying to stop me. The Illuminati was trying to stop me. But I'm here, y'all. I'm here to have fun. I have been so stressed. And I have had so much on my plate. And I just needed to have fun. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I haven't, it's been a while and I wanna, offer my tarot. I was inspired um, by Heart of Inspiration. So I'm here. I apologize for the other issues. I was having technical issues, but I think we are smooth sailing. Yes, Von Eric, I'm here, honey. They was trying to stop me. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Let me get my other screen up, and we just gonna have a good time tonight. I just want a good vibe. Understand? I appreciate um, any support whatsoever. A like, a share, a comment, a dollar. It don't matter to me. Okay, so this is now, and I thought something would be fun. What is the funnest thing I could do? And I like doing this, so we're gonna see. Plus, I'm about to get on this camera, make myself available, so you can see my face. Ooh we on it all night, all night, all night. Okay, so I'm doing this. This is taco and taro, honey. Look, we gonna do it like this. Um, I'm making tacos because I'm hungry. However, we're gonna do some taro too, and then talk about whatever if that comes up to be in between. So if you would like it, and I'll put all the hey, come on up link on. So I'm gonna drop the link now, and then you could come on up if you so choose. But I'm gonna wait a little bit. Wait, let everybody get back that know that I'm live and I'm on, and it's good. We're gonna let it run for a minute. Let me put some different music on. um, yeah. So another instrumental. I hope you guys like it. These were songs that I did not finish writing, and that is the truth. So this is just the instrumental stuff. Thank you. I had to dig deep and find it, but it's still here. It's still here. Welcome. Welcome. We're here to have some fun, okay? Please. Because it's been a minute. Let's see what this. I love this song. The song was called Bed of Roses. And I just didn't get around to finish writing it. That's my fault, right? So let me get some light over here because I'm looking a little dark. Okay, let me turn this light off. Okay, and then we have this light, which is not strong enough right now. Okay. There we go. Okay. Hello, welcome. Let me bring you on up. How you doing, sir?
Hey family, what's going on?
Hey. Having some fun. Doing a little bit of fun stuff. That's all I could get out right now.
Okay.
just just something not too serious. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. You ready? I used to work for Miss
Okay.
Cleo. Remember Miss Cleo calling me out? You
You're
remember
talking
her?
about the Miss Cleo from back in the day.
Yeah. Miss
Yeah, yeah,
Cleo,
yeah,
Miss
yeah,
Cleo,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Call me now. Yeah.
So yeah. So I was about 18. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Not the red light special. Yeah, I'm keeping it chill. Let's whew, tonight, like or early morning, because I have had a week, right? But anyway, back to the story. So I was about 18, right? And I was looking for something, to put in my pocket. Like I was like, okay. And this is when, yes, I'm dating myself. This is when you look for a job in the newspaper. You remember that? Like, does anybody remember? I didn't know. I don't know if she passed away.
Yeah, she did.
I'm not sure, Von Eric.
A few years.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, I didn't know that. So I'm looking in the paper and they say they're looking for people to do customer service, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. From home. Like this was mid 90s, was it? Yeah, I think so. So I applied and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I'm with other psychics. You know what I mean? Like, this is cool. This was when everybody had a channel or a phone number you could call. Well, come to find out, it was fake, right? Like you read a script. If a person said this, you read a script to go with that. I didn't want to do that. I felt wrong for doing it. And I was like, I don't want to do this. So then I said, well, can I do my own? And they were like, it's up to you. You don't have to use the script. So I just started really talking to people and just kind of gauging what was going on. And then, because if anybody really understands about like tarot and stuff, it's not an art of darkness. It is an art of explaining the unexplained or maybe giving you a clue about something. I mean, it is human energy being, you know, put into these cards when you're touching them or if you speak life into them and you're trying to give somebody answers that they're looking for. So a lot of people still to this day, now it's $1 trillion business because people feel lost, which is understandable with everything that goes on here. However, your girl got in it. I didn't think I had any type of special skills or anything like that. I just got into it, started studying, started reading. And I'm talking to these people on the phone. And I'll tell you why I stopped. I talked to this lady and I, do the cards for her. Right. Yeah, all of them. Dionne Warwick, all of them. Anyway, so she's like talking to me and she's crying and I'm like, okay, so let's see what we can do. like what's going on. And excuse me, I was some of the parts are foggy, but how it ended was it was about her child. She has lost a baby. I just picked up on that. Like she had, lost her daughter. And then I think I said something to her that really like got her going. And I was like, okay, let me get out of this. What is this? So I would only read tarot for my friends. And like it was like a 80%, record of, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Right. And my friends will come from, especially about love, and people want to know if they're gonna be alone, and it's just a different thing. So I don't this is why I say for entertainment purposes, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to do anything shady. I just want to share something that I do, have some fun, maybe raise some money for Chocolate Earth, and that's it. So there it is. Now, what you think about that, sir? What you think about that?
Um, I think that I think that's kind of unfortunately could be the American way. People can exploit people in order to
Mm-hmm.
get profit. So I think you got to be careful who you give your energy to. You got to be careful
Right.
who you with, because you never know, like if they're really being sincere, genuine. And I think
Exactly.
that's an issue that I think we all, for those of us who are really, you know, who are light itself. You know what I'm saying? Where
Mm-hmm.
we are vibrant. We're transparent. You know what I
Right.
mean? And we are not
Excuse me.
perfect, because we're not perfect at all. But
Nobody
we
is. Nobody.
we are we are
Yeah.
we are truly ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think when it comes to us being a part of people, there's a lot of people who are just dark. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you
Their
know,
spirit is just that way. Yeah. Oh
we have to
yeah.
understand. So when you're around those dark energies, you just gotta
Mm-hmm.
watch. You gotta watch what you do. You gotta watch what you be around, because a lot of people, and what I've noticed myself, even in this space of social media, there's a lot of
Oh
people who
my, yeah.
a lot of jealousy, man. It's a lot of jealousy, a lot,
Haterade. It's a lot of
a lot of
haterade.
backbiting, a lot of backdooring. And the thing is that people do this because they know they do it for two reasons. One, because they do it to try to gain attention, and two, they know they're not going to run
Mm-hmm.
you in the street. When you run
Right.
into the street, it's going to be a whole different
Excuse me. Oh, I'm
scenario.
so sorry.
No, it's going to
Me.
be a whole different scenario, talking and all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then when you really want to probably see about these people, or come see them, maybe to have a conversation, maybe to have more. They don't want to do that interaction. They don't want to do the real face to face. We talking, ain't no cameras around, ain't no live button, nothing. Me and you.
Right.
You know
It's
what I'm
just me and
saying?
you.
They
Let's
don't they
go.
don't, they don't want no parts of that. So it's entertainment for people. It's the peanut gallery,
Yeah.
it's strolling, it's a lot of BS. And then at that time, people don't understand at that time, like psychics and kind of the Jerry Springer age, the birth
Right.
the birth of reality.
Yeah. TV.
That
Yup.
reality that time was YouTube. That was the YouTube of that time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
More,
when we started getting glimpse of people's lives.
yeah,
You know what I
more
mean?
Ricky Lake, Shelly Jesse Raphael,
Oh, you
Oprah.
went back. You
Yeah,
went
I'm going.
way
I'm
back.
talking about that era. You know what I mean?
Not Sally. Not
Shelly,
Sally. I
all of them,
loved her glasses.
all of them. I'm saying all of them. Even, and people don't know this too. I know towards the end, or towards when she started really getting big, and she started
Right.
really popular, she stopped kind of doing it. But Oprah was a part of that too.
Oh yeah, she was. And do you know this here is just a like a raggedy fact, right? Nothing that'll keep you up at night. The Her original audience were men that
Yep,
were home during the day from working overnight.
yep,
That was her audience. I saw
yep.
that, and that's wild to me. Hey, Alma, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah,
Yeah, Oprah,
yeah,
Oprah, Oprah didn't get into her real kind of like upper class echelon type of
right.
content until she
Yeah,
got big. But before,
yeah.
she was slinging mud too.
All
She was,
day long,
you know what I
all
mean?
day long.
I remember that era. I remember all them shows, and I used to watch all of them shows, man, all of them. There was another. It was another lady too. I forget her name. Another white lady. I forget her name.
Okay,
She
so there's
on.
Ricky.
It was
Oh,
really like.
you breaking up just a little bit.
Sorry about.
What? No, 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 no. You're fine. I just wanted to let you know. What's that person's name? God, oh, hold on. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Hold on.
Yeah,
Oh, I like this. It's better.
it's almost.
Okay.
It's been 20 some odd years, so it's been a minute.
Oh wow,
But,
yeah.
but during that time, that's what people used.
Jenny
You know,
Jones.
Jenny Jones.
You remember Jenny Jones and
There
what
you
happened
go.
to
That
her?
was her too. Yep.
Yes,
All them
yes.
shows was in the mix, and Miss Cleo just supposed to happen to be in that mix too. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
if you wasn't at
exactly.
home watching music videos, or you wasn't watching,
Uh,
TV Spring Break and stuff like that, you was watching reality TV. That's just what we did at the time. It wasn't
hmm
internet like that. And if you did do
Oh
internet,
my God. When I was
you
in
had to pay.
college,
Remember, you had
when
to
I
pay
was,
back then. You had to pay to be online to talk to somebody because they had
oh my
The
God.
AOL online
Yes.
CDs.
Oh, you're
You had to
taking
pay
me
for
back. Ah, yes. Those were the days.
those were the days. You would chat with somebody all the
Mm-mm.
time, all day, every day. You pay
Right.
for it, and then once then, like I think around 2000, I would say 2002, 2003. That's when the
hmm
AOL chat started to get popular. Remember the chat room?
Oh, yes. I remember those chat rooms. They were
Remember
all
that?
over the place.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before that, you had to pay for it. You had to pay to talk to
Yeah.
people. You know what I
How
mean?
about this? Do you
This-
remember? I'm not saying I did it, but do you remember when you get the CDs and you'd have to put it in your computer so that
Yes.
you could get the
Yes.
dial up? Oh,
Yep. Yep. And
and
people,
it
people.
changed.
Hey, look,
It
people would
changed so
steal them.
fast.
People would steal them joints. You would try to steal your neighbor's CD,
Yeah.
steal anybody's CD. 'Cause that's how you got on. I'm keeping it a G. That's just what it was.
Hey man, we came up in an era that was amazing. We got to see because a lot of people like the people want to say, oh, it's the Gen Xers, the Gen Z or whatever. However, it was the Gen Xers. Y'all sleep on us because we were the creators of this. We were the
Fact.
creators of it. The only time it was a millennial was Facebook because that was for college kids at that time. But everything else that was created, they were Gen Xers.
Well, a millennial, they say is anybody born after or anybody born I think after 1979. That's what they say the millennial is. That's the correct
Okay.
term. I don't know if
Okay.
that's actually true. Anybody can, if you do your research, you put it in the chat. Let us know.
Yeah. Hey.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. I'd love to know.
Millennial is anybody
Yeah.
born in 79. That's what I've known. That's what I've heard. But
Mm-hmm.
I say like
Mm-hmm.
this, like it was a different time and a different era. Remember back in those days too. That was the birth of the cell phone era. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And
Oh my God! Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it
Don't do
because
it.
remember,
Ah.
you either had a regular cell phone, you got a prepaid. If you got a prepaid,
Yes.
right, they would they
What
would
about your beeper?
they would
Because
just
I
you
had
on.
a beeper. Did you
Now
have a beeper?
now I have a beeper. I didn't have a beeper. I was still too young to get a beeper. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my gosh.
I
Yeah.
just in
Okay.
the beginning of the cell phone age, and you either had to get a regular cell or prepaid. I tried to do the prepaid because everybody was like, "Get the prepaid," but then
Right.
I didn't know you had to pay for every minute. I didn't know all that.
Oh
Then I,
my God.
then I got me a regular cell
Mm-mm.
phone, and I'm gonna say this last part too, and I'm gonna mute up. I remember back in the day too. See how everybody got ringtones now, and they can just download the ringtone. Back in the days, you had to pay for ringtones. They don't know about that. You had to pay for your ringtones.
Yes, 99 cents,
Yeah,
29 cents. You would remember because that's when Virgin Mobile was like
yeah,
king.
yep, yep, yep,
Everybody got a Virgin Mobile phone at one point in the game. And it was so
yep.
fast. See, even though, yeah, we might be a little older, however, we have to remember this was fast. This was all happening at the same time. Microsoft was pushing, what's his name? Jobs was in the mix. Like it was in the
Yeah,
background, the tech boom and all. We were part of all of that.
yeah.
And so that's why I say we got the best of both worlds because we got to see it in the archaic part, and then we also see now the technology.
Yep.
But you remember them tiny phones? Stop. You done brought all that back in my head. The chirp.
It's just the used to when you bought your cell phone,
Yeah.
you would get either the cell phone box, right? And they'll give you
Right.
a charger, they'll give you everything, or
Yes.
it'll be inside that hard plastic thing.
Stop.
Plastic. You have to
I
cut the plastic,
can't.
open it, and it get your cell phone out. It was
Yeah.
either one of those two. I mean, and that's just how it
No,
was.
Vaughn. No,
That's how.
Vaughn, Eric. Do not.
No,
Not the
it wasn't.
chirp
It
chirp.
wasn't all that. It wasn't all that fancy stuff you get now. You know, we get
Nah, not at
the
all.
box and
Not
it's
at all.
chips open and all that. Wasn't none of that back in the day. It came in a little plastic thing, or if you did get a box, that's when you knew your phone was about something. When you got the
Oh,
box,
that box. Yeah, the white box. It was
yeah,
always either black or it was white, and
yeah,
it had the little side berm on it. You'd be like,
yeah.
"Ooh,
That's when you knew you were
I paid
special.
for a phone."
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
when you knew. That's when you knew you were great. But outside of
I
that,
dated
you
it.
got a regular
Yeah,
plastic.
the BlackBerry. I can't believe you left out the BlackBerry. We were still using
Oh no,
those.
the BlackBerry was one. The other one was the back then. This is the beginning of the smartphones was the Sidekick and the BlackBerry.
Not
Those
the
were the two.
sidekick.
Yeah, the
Not
side
the sidekick.
two.
Oh
So
God. Wow.
before that it was the Motorola two way, which I ain't have enough money to get at that moment. But the Motorola two way was the first
Don't do it.
phone was about the
Stop
two.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
He said I wasn't making no money here,
I
so
wasn't
I
making
couldn't do
back when the
this.
Motorola two way came out.
Stop. I can't.
I
No.
true. I ain't make. I
I
was making
love it. I
two way.
love it. Me too. Me too, sure. When them bills would come, especially when I was in college, I'd be like, okay, my phone gonna be off. And see, that's another thing. We could let our phones be off and not lose our mind. That is one thing that was true. Like, oh, bro, my phone was out. You know what I mean? It just we had a different. It was so different, and it changed so quickly. So
Yeah,
yeah,
your
yeah,
phone could be off for a weekend and nobody would trip.
right.
They'll just update
No,
you about what happened the weekend before.
let
Oh,
your
you
phone
messed
be off
out.
now. They
Blah blah
making
blah blah
funeral
blah.
plans.
Man, but yeah, you miss the phone for a weekend now, man.
Yeah,
You miss a whole bunch of stuff. But back in the day,
right.
nothing. Like your phone be off and you turn it back on, you turn it off, turn it back on, or what I mean, then
Mm-hmm.
you started doing the phone hustle as the smartphone started.
Perfect.
Then you started getting like more than one phone, switching the SIM card,
Right.
all that. Yeah, man, I remember all that, man. That was a great era, man. That was
It
a
really was. We
fun.
we benefited from a lot of the music. I think the last time, other than our generation, I think in like like early millennials, like the ones that were born in 80 to like 85, I think. That's why they try to mesh it and call them, I don't know. They just in the mix. They was the brothers and sisters of all the Gen Xers, basically. Because it seemed like our parents would spread out the children. You'd be like, what year is this? Like, why are you pregnant still? What is going on?
Oh yeah, that was the last era of people having
Yeah.
like a lot
Like
of kids.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You noticed
Like
that.
5, 6, 7 kids
Mhm.
back in them days, back in the 80s and some of the 90s. That's when you have early 90s. You have people having more,
Exactly.
but now back
Man, you took it back,
in the early
sir.
90s,
That's
after the early
great.
90s, people stopped having all them kids after the early 90s. They started kind of having
Well, because the
more.
90s was hard. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't remember that as well. It was hard. Remember, okay, now I don't know if you old enough, but anybody in the chat, do you remember Calvin on the McDonald's commercials?
You talking about the Dave Chappelle thing? Yes, I remember that.
I
I remember that.
I
I remember
remember.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, when Dave
There,
Chappelle was out, I had got my
yes.
I got my
Yes.
job. I was working. I was working at like a little cell phone place, and
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying. And I
Ooh,
was
that was always the shit. You would
yeah
always want to see the
yeah
guys that at the cell
yeah. I had my little cell phone gig, and, you know what I mean. And I was doing that,
phone. Right.
selling, making
Oh my
quotas and all
God.
that. And my friends was doing their thing. Yeah, that was
Yes, that
cool.
was the hangout spot. You
Yeah,
usually could hang out at the cell phone. You run into people like, girl, you up here, good girl. I'm turning my phone on for the weekend, right? Like, I'm buying me some prepaid. You could come in there and get anything. It was great. That
now back in the day.
communal,
Now back
right?
in
It
the day,
was
I don't care if I'm
communal.
sounding older now. I don't care. Anybody say I'm old, whatever. Back in the day,
Hey,
right,
we done seen some
you
shit.
had to have two hookups, especially if you was a guy, right? I don't know if Vaughn ever still in the chat. Maybe he is. If you was a guy,
Oh shoot.
hookups, right? If you was a guy,
Hmm.
you had to
Yeah.
have a girl that works in like a Foot Locker or something like that. You know
Right.
what I mean?
All the
You had to
yes, they always
uh,
had boyfriends.
yeah, you got to know somebody that know a girl that work in Foot Locker so she give you a discount. You
Exactly.
had to,
All the discount. We knew it.
you had to
We
have
knew
your
what y'all
fast
was
food.
doing.
You had to have your fast food, honey. If you didn't have one of those two, then you messed up
Got
because
the fast food,
you
honey.
had to have.
Yes.
Because if you had to pay full price for your McDonald's. You wasn't trying to do that.
Listen, it was on the
You was
other
trying to
side
go
too.
low.
I can't front. I cannot front. I had hookups everywhere. The pizza man, he thought I was cute. So he would bring me pizza.
Look, you had to do that back
The
in the day.
phone bill, I'm gonna hook you up, okay? Da-da-da-da-da. And it'd be like 20 bucks. Yes, thank
Yep,
you, sir.
yep. You had to do that. If you listen, you didn't do that back in the day, then you
You
couldn't get no fresh gear, and you could not come outside when I had fresh gear on. That was a fact.
and now here I'm gonna add to it the flea market. I don't know if you had one, but we had a huge one because there was in Columbus, Ohio, on the east side of town. They've turned it into something else, but it was the flea market. I worked in there. I worked in it. I worked for this man who gave me my own little store, and I sold men's hair products, men's cologne. I did ear piercing, and I sold incense. Now tell me,
No,
I
I
was
didn't.
about
I
for
didn't. I didn't.
business.
We didn't have a flea market where
Oh,
I'm
we
from.
need to bring that back.
We had
I love those.
we had like the 'cause I'm from the New York area. We had like these little side stores you would kind of go into, right? And we still got them to this day. We have these little what do they call them stores? They call them the Habib stores. It would be like Middle Eastern people, and they would work in these stores, right? Middle Eastern and East Indian people. They work in these stores, and they would treat their store kind of like you would see the storefront. You walk in the store, and it'll be one thing, right? You would think that okay, I'm coming in
Yes,
here.
yeah,
I'm gonna buy me some t-shirts or whatever, right?
right,
Maybe some shoes. And then he'd be like, my friend, come to the back, come to the back. You're like, what I'm coming to the back for?
right,
And it'll be a whole different store.
exactly.
It'll be a whole different store. And then he'll have all different kind of Jordans and cologne and
Yes,
all. You're like,
yes.
wait, hold on, how you get all this
We had
stuff
a
back
store
here?
like that. We had a
Yeah,
store like that.
yep.
It'd
We
be the
had a lot of those.
99 cent, right? The 99 cent. It would say 99 cent, but it would be all kinds bomber jackets, wigs. Like you could get everything. And I never understood why we didn't have anything like that as black folk. I didn't understand that. Because when I was growing up, it was predominantly African who ran like uh, within the flea market where we got the music. They've got those bootleg tapes and CDs that had the printer
Oh, you
paper
talking
would
about
be
2 for
mad.
5 man? Okay, now 2 for 5 man.
or
Now
the
one of my family members was into that. He was really that. Like
hey.
the 2 for 5 man would come to the house. He would come to the house
Hmm.
and he would have like movies that would like have he would have all these like A-list and B-list movies that like we ain't never
Right,
seen.
right.
Like they like the home for TV movies, or he'll have movies that ain't come out yet,
Oh,
and he would have a whole bunch of he had like a shopping cart full of movies, full of DVDs,
oh
and
my gosh.
we
Hold
would
on.
we would be on it.
I love it. Hey, Anna, what's up? Let me add you. What's going on?
Hi, my sister. How are you?
Hi. I'm a lot better. You're
Yeah,
looking
look, we got the
beautiful.
bun. We got the
Right, we're
bun
looking
going. Look at
beautiful.
this.
Mm,
Yes, this is a
okay.
bun line tonight.
That's what it is. See, I'm trying to send out the good vibes.
That's
I
what
have
I
had a
just said.
yeah, yeah. It's been, I can't lie, it's been rough like everyone else. However, I'm still here and they ain't gonna get rid of
Yes,
me.
that's right. That's
So
right.
I'm
And that's
here.
what
I'm
I
here. I
said.
made it home. That was my number one.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
did.
happy I made it. I made it home. That's it. And I
Um,
thank everyone who helped and supported me because I used every dollar to get home.
I
I
know
was
that's right. I'm
here.
glad you're there. I really am. Now I'm on my way to go back home to where I need to be to feel great.
That's it.
So,
Right. And sometimes that's what
Yes.
you need, and that's okay. But welcome, welcome. What say you? We done switched the conversation. We taking it back
Okay.
in the day with the
Okay, well,
tape.
let's go there because I said I was looking on. I called you. I just texted you, and I said, "Let me."
Yes, yes.
I just want good energy, positive vibes. That's what I'm
That's
feeling tonight.
it.
I want to keep it
Yes.
nice,
That's why I
fun,
said
and
come in, have fun. I'm doing these little
yes.
read-ins for y'all. And we just got into a
Okay.
really good conversation. So I'm here. I'm gonna be here a while. So
Who
if
else
you
is
would like,
online?
this is Mr. Best in the world.
Hi, Mr.
We'll let him
Best.
introduce you. This is
Mr. Best
Autumn.
in the world. Okay,
Yes.
Salute, family.
He
How are
he about
you?
his business.
I see that. I see that. Mr. Best in the world, you better be.
He came to support, and I'm so excited. Like
Hey,
I'm so like
I try.
excited. You know.
That's awesome. I'm
Yeah,
great.
y'all don't
That's
have to.
fantastic.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
you guys. 1, 2, 3, it don't
absolutely.
matter. Right?
Yes,
And
yes.
that's what he done made me laugh, and I done unplugged my light. That's why I'm over here looking like I'm in the dark. I'm over here thinking
Um,
about my pager girl. I had
okay.
my and remember your mom had money if she worked for the state. That's how I rolled where I live. Everybody mom worked.
Right. That part.
So
Yes,
I'm like 17, right?
yes.
Look, my mom hooked me all the way up. I had my own
You
cell
know.
phone. I had
Mhm.
my own phone in my room. And I
I
had
had
a
a
beeper.
beeper. Right,
Beep
right.
me
I had a
911. Beep me 911.
what you tell her?
Yes.
What you talking about? I had a beeper, and then I had the telephone, the designated telephone number
Oh,
that
yes.
rang. You knew when it was yours to
Come on
call.
back up if you want to. I'm gonna put
And he dropped off.
I'm sorry. Give me one. Oh, okay, great. Von Eric,
Yeah.
welcome. Let me add him to the scene. Listen, I am ready for the good vibes. What say you, Von Eric? What's up?
Right.
All right, let's get it going. I'm here. Let's get it.
Yes.
I'm here to learn. I'm a student, so I'm here to learn from Queens today. So y'all better kick it. Y'all better kick the knowledge because I'm here to
Okay,
learn.
Thank
I
you.
like.
Thank
All right.
you. This is Von Eric. He is so cool. I am so happy to meet these men. They are just cool. And that's why I say we can't give up on the brothers. There's some good ones out here. We just gotta
Yeah, absolutely.
weed out the boo-boos. That's all.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I really
I'm here to.
this speaking of boo-boos,
I
because
feel
when I
honored to be
was
here. I
oh
feel honored to be here
thank
up
you.
amongst
Oh, that's
two
so
beautiful
sweet.
queens. So,
Yes.
Oh, you
like I said,
oh, thank you so much.
He's
I
just
appreciate
buttering
the
us
side.
up. He's just buttering us
Right.
up.
I like
I
it.
know
The
what
energy
you're
is
doing the most. I
well,
tingle
love
on my
it.
shoulders.
that's
You
what a
know?
king. That's what a king's supposed to do. Supposed to butter up the
Right.
queens, right?
Okay.
Right. Look at yes,
Two
yes,
snap in a
absolutely.
circle. That's why I knew it. I
The
knew
best
this
king is the
was.
king. The best king is the king that serve, not always want to be served, but to serve.
Yes, we
Okay.
serve one another. We serve
That's
when
right.
it's reciprocal around here.
Exactly.
It's
There you
Right.
go.
reciprocal around here.
We
Okay,
want
There
to
you go.
give. We want to
it's
give. But if
yin
you
and
out
yang.
here,
It's
right,
yin and
it
yang.
is.
Right.
But Von Eric, did you have a beeper? Did you have a pager
I
calling
had
911?
I had a beeper. Yes, I did.
Yes.
I had the chirp phone too.
Oh no, not the church.
Oh,
Yep, I
oh,
had that.
the
Yep.
chirp came out for a while ago though. The
Huh?
chirp came out. Are we going
No,
Are we going
we
back?
talking
Are we
about
doing
Motorola
2000?
chirp.
Yeah,
Yeah, we going early 2000s
Okay, so yeah, early
with
2000s.
the
So
chirp.
like, oh, okay, yeah,
When they sound like walkie talkies. That's how far
yeah.
we
got
When
went
they
it.
said
back.
when they was to walk, because I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
See, I was lucky out when they came. I may be a little older, but when I was
I'll be right back. I'm
coming up,
listening. Okay, you got.
when I had the chirp, I had got it on
Uh-huh.
I had good credit. So
Right,
it was at the time when you could able to get like 6 or 7 phones and
right,
able
that
to
part.
have people, on your line.
Mm-hmm.
6 or
Oh, we
7
keeping it
people. You
real
might have
today.
6, 7, 9 people on your line, then all of a sudden when one go off, everybody go off.
Yes, yes. I remember. So I had. Well, this was before the cell phone. I had I had a beeper, and
Okay.
then we were talking about like middle school,
Okay.
and we had the telephone number that it would ring different when it was your phone.
Okay.
But if we talking about the first time that we got a cell phone, I think my first cell phone was a Razor,
Oh,
and that was like in 2021, 22,
okay.
no 22. Yeah, that was my first cell phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it the Razor Edge or just the Razor? Because I think
It was silver. It was silver, and it was the flip phone. It was really like,
okay. I got
yeah,
Yeah,
that was my first cell phone I ever had. And then I did the same thing with you. I had when my credit was good, and
Right.
we had good
Right.
credit when we first was out and young
Right.
and stuff. So I had
Girl, if somebody that told us about that credit.
AT&T.
Child.
AT. I had AT&T. Why did I have like 4 phones? Just cause. Just cause.
Who you calling? Who you calling?
Nobody. It was just, and I had different numbers, and it's like, why do I have this phone? And why do I have that? And they sent it to you in the mail.
Yes.
And I just was like, and didn't know that, that part. The rest is history. But
now, when you had all those,
I remember that.
Because that was in our younger days. Do you regret? Do you regret doing any of that? As far as having that, even though it messed your credit up, and you know how people like, oh, your credit's messed up. Do you regret of doing any of that in your younger days?
I don't regret it, because I feel like we need to experience those things. Of course, I would have wanted someone to tell me, hey, don't do that, and this is the repercussions. And then I've had examples of people not doing that. Right. So I'm not doing that now. So I have twins, they're 13. They're not going to do that.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all I'm saying is that, like, I don't regret it, because that was life. And then just think about it. The world is so different now. When I was in high school, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have cell phones.
Right.
So it's different, so when you talk about, like, do we regret it? Well, that was like the opening up to the information age for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the only cell phones that we saw was those big ones on New Jack City, the gray
Oh
ones.
my God,
like 1 minute was like $17.
Right.
Wait. I have to tell y'all this. Hold on, real quick. I'm sorry. Hold on, real quick. I have to tell y'all that I had a car phone. That's all I'm gonna say.
I did too. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I didn't do that, but I do know people who had one, and they were. But really, when you really think about it, nowadays, kids have cell phones.
Right.
They got. We didn't even have social media. We had Black.
Right.
Oh no, you didn't bring Black Planet into it.
Right.
Stop.
That was my first experience with the internet, Black Planet. So when you think about you asked that question, do I regret it? Like, no, that was the start to this new era of technology that we didn't know nothing about. So it's like, if you weren't gonna do it, you just wasn't even in the times.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
If you didn't know what was happening, you was a lame. That was just it.
Yeah, you had to follow that way.
How we found out about clothes, how we found it is somebody cousin come to out of town. Remember that everybody cousin was always right. Because I'm gonna be 100. I was straight up. Me and my friend was Shireen and what was her name? Shireen and the other from House Party. Then I was the one. I was the one that lived. Listen, her name was Shireen.
It was Shireen.
Her name was Shireen, but not
Tisha
Campbell's character. Yes.
Okay.
Remember the 2 girls? I was the one that lived in the
her
hood.
name is her name was what is her name? AJ Johnson. What's her name? Shireen?
It was Shireen in the movie. I promise you.
And then who was the
Sydney and Sherane. Sydney was the
Sherane,
girl.
yeah.
Now that was my friend Natalie. Her people had a
Yeah.
little money. Her mom worked. She was corporate, right?
Right.
But back in the, she was corporate, and her parents. Shout out to her. We were like so opposite as far as the spectrum of Black people during that time. They were the Black neighborhood. The neighborhood was still predominantly Black, but people had homes. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then you cross the street and go behind the McDonald's. That's where I live. I live over there. I live back there, and so our home was nice. We had a townhouse, brick townhouse back in the day. That was some shit because we had upstairs, basement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember.
That hood housing was.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. I did something. This might be this will be kind of funny. I remember when I had my car phone, and it got cut off, but I was still acting like it was on. I was perpetrating, right? Acting like it was on.
Yeah.
Someone came up to the car and they used my phone.
I'm from the Pacific Northwest, right? And so my mom, her first job was Cellular One.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And she had the corporate phone at home. So she had the corporate phone, the big gray one. And I remember being in middle school, and she had went off to work, and I thought I was tight, right? And this was summertime. I was about to, you know what I mean? Right. So I had took the phone outside now, because this is when people, you know, they let you have your little corporate phone. So I took the phone outside, and I was just, you know, look what I got. Went to the restroom, and it was stolen.
Whoa!
I know your mom wanted to kill you. Ooh, child.
Someone stole that phone. I was like, Tony, like, why did you? It was a whole bunch of just people just in the community, right? Just there. And and my mom came home, and she just was like, at first I tried to just be like, hey mom, and I tried to go to my grandmother's house. I wanted to go to my grandmother's house because I was like, I'm gonna go spend the rest of the summer with my grandmother.
Because I ain't go see summer, yo. I'm not about to see summer. I'm about to be under the ground. What in the world?
We went to every. This was before social media, so I don't know how I came up with everybody's address. Because when my mom came home, she said, "We going to everybody's house, everybody's house."
Wow.
And now we didn't have no Chat GPT. We didn't have no
you wrote things down.
I was calling people like, "Do you know where such and such live?" Okay, they lived on 17th
Where your
Street.
landline at?
We went to everybody's house. We never found it, right? And this was like, you know, we never found it, but I was in trouble that whole summer.
Oh my God, girl.
Yeah, but my mom followed that wave, and then we moved from the Pacific. She moved from the Pacific Northwest to the DC metro area and got in the whole telecom boom. And you know, that's where I was getting exposed to all the IT stuff. But man. I remember that.
So basically, you was almost about to get adopted by somebody.
Do you remember that 1-800-KIDS? Right. My mom used to threaten us with that one. You can call them if you want to.
Right. Why? Do you remember this one? It was something about when it was like you can call damage. And you can call, because I guess when your family member is crazy, you can call damage, right? She said you must be damaged.
Oh,
that was like the running joke, though. Like, you better call damage. Somebody crazy. Now that's the suicide hotline now.
Oh no! Well, that's good. It's helpful.
R211. Or that's what that is. Damage.
Girl, 211 ain't helping nobody. It might as well be 911. Ain't
Right.
nothing to play with.
Right.
Where is you know what I mean? Yes,
Right.
it is 211. Is a joke in my town.
But
I love it.
Do you tell those stories to the young kids or to your children?
God, yeah. I share with my brother all the time. I tell him everything about that era because a lot of it got, unless you go see it on YouTube or Instagram or something, like I belong to this channel that is like nothing but 80s. Like they'll send pictures of nothing but 80s stuff.
Yes,
and them
Nintendo,
toys, them clothes. Oh my gosh, yes. I had a Nintendo. See, we were upper middle poor. That basically what that was. Like we was upper poor. We had things that regular poor folks didn't have, so we was just a little bit of. We weren't middle class though, but that's okay. My mama worked hard. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. But when she was working for the state, and then she had got a raise, girl, I thought I had a purse for every day. I had an outfit because I didn't care, girl. I go to the flea market, buy up 3-4 purses for $5. Okay, go home, match it to that outfit. Somebody thinking I'm doing something, like, yeah, I'm killing it. Before thrifting was popular, baby, you went to the flea market.
Exactly.
If you could fit the African clothes, you was good to go because it only came in 2 sizes.
But you was in the whole Afrocentric stuff back then.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, listen, I was blackity black because I'm black, y'all. Because I'm blackity black.
Okay, so I'm from like the Pacific Northwest, where it's like the whitest of the white, is the white. So I got my first dose of black. Well, I won't even say that. I would just say, because my grandmother was really profound in the community, and she did a lot of black stuff. She was like the president of the National Council of Negro Women. She got awards from the president for her volunteer efforts in the community. She also started the first black mental health facility in the Pacific Northwest. I was really into like that type. But as far as just me personally adopting that, and adopting that profound, like my identity of blackness. I didn't get that until I went to the DC metro area and grew up as an adult. Like my mom did the telecom, and then I would say 19 I went to the DC metro area, and then I grew up as an adult. So I was raised in the Pacific Northwest, but as an adult I grew up in the DC metro area.
But you gotta taste the both.
Yeah, if I grew up, you ever see the show The Wire?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the era. That's the era I grew up in.
That's where Idris Elba came from.
Right. That's the era I grew up in. Matter of fact, the first kingpin who got a kingpin charge, he grew up on the same street that I in the country.
Wow.
So I grew up in that era, but I tell people, even though that era was hard,
yes, it was.
It was a lot of violence. I tell people it was a preacher, yes, that helped me, but it was also a drug dealer that helped me get off the streets also.
See, and that's how it was then, though. Yeah. Like where you saw that. Like the drug dealers lived in my neighborhood. They lived down the street. This is when dudes was doing, the B-boys started. Exactly. Like really coming back in the 90s. Right. See, that was like the 70s and the early 80s. We was kids. But they brought the B-boy era back in the 90s. Right. And so you had a lot of them living with their mom in low-income housing. Right. Selling.
And it was and like when I was on the street, because I used to, dance in clubs, but the drug dealer was like, no, this is not. Yeah, they used to tell me. Yeah, they used to tell me, this is not for you. Get off these streets. They used to say, my mom always go to work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They say,
you ain't here ready for this.
Right. They say, this is not for you. You need to get off.
Right.
So I give them props. I give them ups. And we gotta remember, a lot of these churches who's accusing these people on the street, they accepted money for them drug dealers.
Come on. Come on.
They
I heard
accepted
about
money
that.
for
The
them.
I heard
pimps.
about
Wait a minute. The pimps.
Yeah.
All the people in the ex-felons, everybody. Because
Yup.
that was
Yep.
our only form of community. That was
Yup.
the only way
Mhm.
we all linked and we all saw each other the same because, okay, we all in here because we need a little godly love. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We here on Sunday because
Yeah.
of da 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 da. However, when the mega churches started, this is the era when Black people was like, oh, let's get in on that money. Let's build a bigger church. Let's
Right.
have all these different things. But the people who come to your church can't even afford to live where you done built a church.
Right.
So how is that beneficial to us? You know what I mean? So
Right.
that was another reason why I started walking away, because I was just like, everything that you spouting in the Bible, y'all not doing.
A lot of
You supposed to be
Yeah.
looking out for people. You supposed, the same way, right? The same way y'all want to throw judge ye not. Yes, you lest you want to be judged.
Yeah.
They the most judgmental. Yeah, and you know, I had got deep into that. Like I
Me
went
was raised in
I
it.
went to so I went to, I don't even remember, but I went to this college, and I only went there for a little while. I was in I don't even remember the college, but I thought I wanted to be a pastor, and so
A
I
seminary.
went to seminary school. I went to Cascade Seminary School in
Okay.
Portland,
I
but
don't
I
know
went to
Cascade.
Liberty. I went to Liberty University. I only went there for
Oh, you took it to that level. I got
Yeah,
you.
that's
I
in
can tell
Pennsylvania.
when I went there.
I think that's Pennsylvania, right? Liberty is in PA.
So Liberty University is in.
PA?
There's multiple campuses, but I went to I believe there's multiple campuses, and I went to the one that was in Virginia. And I went there for like 2 semesters.
Yeah, I know you talk about
The big Liberty, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I know
Liberty.
you talk, but
I actually went there for about three semesters, almost a year.
Is that Hagee? Miss Hagee? That's the guy that owns the Liberty, Hagee or something like Hagee?
Yeah, I think it's Hagee. Let me look it up real quick. But that damn school cost me a whole lot of money.
Yeah, that's
I wanted to be a pastor, and then when I had gotten married, my husband was like the armor bearer to the pastor, which was his cousin.
Oh wow!
Then, he was like part of the what is it called? It's called apostolic.
Yeah, apostolic. Yeah.
Where the women couldn't wear earrings and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
But that kind of turned me off when you really, like, when I really got into it, like you said, they were very judgmental, and I kind of went through that whole the whole woke phase, as far as like understanding about what Christianity was, what it did to us. That didn't happen until like maybe 7 or 8 years ago. But as far as being the pro-Black and seeing Black excellence, that happened when I was like in the DC metro area. But I feel you with the whole Christianity thing, and I'm so glad that I did not raise my twins in that.
Right.
So they got a fair chance to choose what they want to.
Right. Do. That's it. Let them choose. No. Go ahead. You got it.
It's a story. Probably your grandparents or your great grandparents around this time. Y'all probably remember Numbers. Black people used to do numbers back in the day, like Bumpy Johnson.
Yeah, Numbers. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know that was a true story until maybe like 6 years ago.
Yeah, it was all over the country.
Okay.
If you get the book called Numbers King, they'll tell you about different people who was numbers around the country. But this one guy in Chicago, his name was Teddy Rowe. He went against the mafia. He went against Al Pacino's, the person that after Al Pacino. Matter of fact, that person came under Teddy Rowe. Teddy Rowe got started under Quincy Jones people, the Jones brothers. They the ones who came up with the numbers and many instruments that you see.
Quincy Jones was instrumental in Seattle, Washington too.
And it was the Jones brothers also implemented a lot of casino instruments you see in casinos with you pull the reliever and stuff like that. But Teddy Rowe was very popular in Chicago because what he used to do now, he was a preacher of the streets. Because if he knew that your gas and electric is off, it'll be paid. If a woman who was widowed and a refrigerator wasn't in, all of a sudden you'll see a refrigerator at your door. He was well loved in his community and brought up his community. If you read this, because they should do a movie about him, Teddy Rowe. Yeah, but he helped build the community and uplift them, and he was going against the mafia because the mafia wanted the territory. They couldn't get him. They couldn't catch him.
So is this in addition to like the whole what's that movie with Lawrence Fishburne and
you talk about Harlem?
Yeah, so I didn't know that was a real. I didn't know that was a true story till years ago.
Now that woman that her name is St. Clair. You have to get her book and a story that she was no joke and a very smart woman. I mean, intelligent. Yes. If you follow her story, especially when she got married, when she got out the game, because she came up early in the game before Bumpy Johnson, when it was with the Jews and Italians. That's why she knew them so well.
And all them, the Dutch, she knew them.
She knew all of them.
I didn't even know this was a true story. I love that movie.
And then when she got out, Then when she got out the game, what she did is did what the Jewish people did. She started owning judges, senators, representatives of the state. She was no joke. But Teddy Rowe, he ended up dying, right? He ended up getting shot. And when they came to the funeral, his wife said, I hope y'all don't think Teddy Rowe got killed like that. The only reason why he died is because he had stomach cancer. He didn't want to go through the pain. So he allowed the mafia to kill him.
Right.
That's what she said. Okay. Yeah, that's what she said.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy right there, Teddy Rowe, everybody should read what he did, especially in the community and how he uplift Black people.
Now you said he was in the Chicago area?
Yep, Chicago. He was born in Louisiana. But if you get that book and then go into his story, he was in Chicago. That's when he learned under the Jones brothers that was related to Quincy Jones. And what they did as far as the community.
Wow.
And it was real deep as far as what he did and made sure people in the community was taken care of. And the women, oh my goodness, the women it was crazy how they was in the community. You talking about, don't you come in the community messing with the women. Don't you come in there thinking that you want to do what you want to do. There's
a lot of accountability up in there.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And when it comes to their man, oh, don't even try. And you better not hear that you beating up a woman and the woman find out, oh, you're gonna have the whole women at your door. Don't you do that.
That part.
You better get on. Right.
That part. Right.
You better get on.
Don't you do that.
You need to get on.
Yeah, that story.
You know what? And that was, my mom was like that. Like she was so little. Right. My mom was 5 foot nothing. But you could not pour me on that woman. Like I would never try her.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
She was scared.
Right.
And so I know that part of me is there. And so it's like I try to keep that energy for those moments that it is necessary. Because I don't, there's no reason to, go like that all the time.
She needs to come out. Let's keep it peaceful.
She
but it's only going to use her when it's necessary.
It's necessary. And you know what? I will say this: the women you're describing, I have bits and pieces, but I have stories about my great grandmother. Her name was Muff. So I got to be with her as a baby, but you know what I mean. Beyond that, she had passed away. And so she would dress. My mom told me she would dress. She did not play. And she was in her 70s. She was not it. Right. Okay, honey. She did not go out looking like no bum. Never, ever, ever. Earrings, outfit, the whole 9, makeup. little makeup, and they called her Muff because her little afro was soft. She had a little soft afro.
Oh wow.
But and so they were telling the story about my aunts, my great aunts, and it was 7 of them, and these were women. They was from Alabama, and nobody messed with them because they would take your man, beat you up, steal your money, stab you.
Right.
They was hardcore.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
And I noticed that in my bloodline, that the women in my family all have this really high level of aggression. Like we just do. Like it's there, bless you. It's just there. Like we can go there if it's like in a moment's notice. Like if me and Autumn was out and somebody was trying to come for her and I'm there, I'm in. Like ain't no questions.
Right.
Ain't no questions. I'm coming for you. But I chose not.
We all have feminine and everyone has feminine and masculinity in them. It's just when you're going to use it. It's like you can go through anything, but it's how you go through it. But you got to use it. You use it when it's necessary.
I'm gonna tell you right now, my family the women in my family are off that street. I'm gonna just say that.
Oh, yeah.
Without that life,
right? But can you do you know? And I think us as a people don't understand and don't look at this as deeply as we should. Do you understand? Many of the successful white and black was raised by a black woman. Because remember, the black woman took care of the white kids, raised them
without question.
Went home and raised their kids. So many of these white people who successful, they give the props to the white woman, which you actually is not because of the black woman raised them, because the white woman was
always
it was they couldn't handle it. They couldn't
fragile.
It was
sickly.
And it was the black woman who was there. It was my mom, not my mom, my great grandma, when she was taking care of her family, and it was the white people family who owned the Baltimore Sun paper. When he died, he told my great grandmother, he said, "I'm going to make you famous." And when he died, he put a whole article on what my great grandmother did when she took care of the entire family while she was there. It was deep, and it made me think, wait a minute.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's a blessing.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And it made me think, this country, many of these presidents, these representatives, they was raised a type of woman like my grandma.
Yes, they always, all of them had a black maid.
Yeah,
they had a black housekeeper.
I was just watching.
Maid. Yeah,
I was just watching Casino. You remember that movie Casino? That movie Casino.
Girl, I love Casino.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was just watching that today, and even Sharon Stone, a black woman, they had a black maid in that too.
Yeah.
I literally was just watching that today.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. It's not even like the old Gone with the Wind. It's like they still do that today, as and I know that's been an old movie, but they still have black women, raising children and as maids or caretakers now, or what is it called? The whole the nanny thing. I have a cousin right now. She's probably like 22, and in the family that she just went on some type of, how they have the little 1-800 nanny place or whatever.
Oh, okay,
but she gets a lot of work from older, like really rich type of white people that own marketing companies, and they want black nannies. They still want that, and I'm not saying it as like, oh, that should be, we should be proud of that or whatever, but that just to say that that's rearing is still the same,
Yep. The Gordys, Barry Gordy's, the Gordy family, because President Carter's mother is a Gordy, and she's first cousins to Gordy.
You're dropping all kind of information. I'm loving it. Keep it popping here. I love some history now.
If you research the Gordys, but his mother, because he was actually raised around blacks because his mother used to allow the black people, no, you don't come through the back, you come through the front.
Right.
And
Right.
she used to sit down and talk with them in the living room back in the day where that wasn't allowed. But she was a Gordy. And she's related to Barry Gordy. If you research the Gordys and the Figueroas is he's the guy who did the Equalizer, the black guy who was having an affair with Charlie Murphy's ex-wife, remember? He's married to the Roshan woman. Who played?
I thought he was just a director. I didn't know that he was in a movie though.
No, he's a director, but he's a part of that Gordy family. If you look at the Figueroas and the Gordy, they are a prestigious black family that's been around centuries. Matter of fact, some of in the family, I know y'all might not know, Winston Churchill's mother was black. That family, if you research that family and see how they don't talk about it and see how deep it goes.
Right. Mulatto are black like us.
No, they black just like, well, they end up mixing with the whites though. Just like just like if you look at Peter the Great's
I know Beethoven was mixed, was a mulatto. I know that.
But Peter the Great, he made his slave into a royal blood. So once he became royal, his son, which you can read it in, it's in the Russian, the little, but Alexander Pushkin. Alexander Pushkin, his father is the one that Peter the Great made his blood royal. The queen husband come from that Ethiopian guy. Her husband comes from that. The person who turned India independent was his uncle. Was a black man. That's why I tell people the royal family are mixed. The second royal family are
That's
black.
what a lot of people say. A lot of people
they
say
are.
that. They've been like Meghan Markle is. Well, you got that one little story, that one movie with that one like royal light skinned lady, but it's been like that. It's deeper to deeper to deeper.
They were way more those kind of people. That's why they were like, I know a lot of people like that show Bridgerton. Is that it? That's the show?
That's like a phenomenon.
And so
like that's been happening.
Right. And it's in the DC area. If you look at like where Prince George's County, where it's mixed, that development is owned. Many of that development is owned by the second royal family that are mixed. They've been saying it in papers and news and letters that they go do speeches. They say yes, we are African and we come from that Ethiopian that Peter the Great made his blood royal. It's real.
Yeah, you know that Rock Newman, the black guy that looked like he damn near white.
Yeah,
that they were part of that. I forgot that Boule, but it's a different.
That's okay. Like, hold on, Autumn. I've heard this.
I think they stopped the whole inbreeding things of like trying to whiten themselves. Look at Rock Newman. He white, the white, but he's black.
Right.
You know,
I got
they
what
couldn't
you're
get away
saying,
from the features, but they was like I know it wasn't as deep with that because I think that was kind of like vile in a way, but I get what you mean that there is because of the system. But I do know that there's a lot of histories that's like right in front, like right before our eyes and hidden in plain sight that we don't even
really, right.
You ever heard of J.A. Rogers' book? You ever heard of J.A. Rogers, the author J.A. Rogers?
What's the name of the book?
I forgot, but if you just put J.A. Rogers in Google, and I think just put J.A. Rogers, it should come up. His whole book collection. But J.A. Rogers was a self-historian.
Y'all done come up here
and
just real master. I'm just playing. I love this. Thank you for coming up, y'all. I'm loving it. I just love the energy. Like, I'm appreciative that y'all came. Like, y'all not messing nothing up. I just wanted to let y'all know that I appreciate the conversation. Go ahead.
You can get J.A. Rogers and George Washington Williams. 1600 to
Mhm.
1860.
Oh
Mhm.
wow. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm
I
going to
think
You
look
out
it.
here dropping
I'm looking up.
for facts. I hear you out
let
here.
me
Right.
get the J.A. Let me get this because you could get his whole J.A. Rogers whole series. Yeah,
Oh,
J.A.
I like
Okay.
that.
American
Okay.
writer. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Joe Augustus Rogers. But you could get World's Greatest Men of Color,
Mhm.
100 Amazing Facts. Um, that's a good one. Let me see. Yeah, 100 Amazing. Let me see this one. World's Greatest Men of Color, 100 Amazing Facts of Negroes. Um,
Mm.
then he
Mm.
has Nature Knows No Color Line. I think that's it. I don't got that
Oh
one.
wow. Okay.
Africa's Gift. He got a whole series of books. But yeah,
But
that
see, you know what? I want to say this to what you were saying about Eric. I apologize
no
for
problem.
cutting you off. I just wanted to say, but see, this is what I mean about us having our own.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like there
Yeah.
shouldn't be where we have to hunt down these books. And like I said, on a political level of it, not too serious, but I'm gonna say this part is
Mhm.
the fact that they're going through their era again of erasing history, and we
Right,
better pay attention to
Yes,
that.
they
right.
are. They doing it again.
And
You're
we need
right.
our own libraries. We need our own schools. We need our own communities so that we can
Yeah.
save what's left and available for the future. Like they looking at us like we crazy. Like we need to make these help them so they can do a little bit better than we did. Because that's not what's happening
Right.
right now. Because they
Yeah.
still living with
So
They,
you're suggesting that we really at this time with social media, with technology, we
mhm.
really need to establish our own
right.
infrastructure of everything.
Yes.
Like right
Of
now, like we
everything.
should. Yeah.
Music,
Especially,
art.
yeah.
We have all of the different pieces that unless a kid come across something or they use a song in a TikTok or a commercial, it is not given in school. We are still allowing our children to graduate from public school and they don't know shit.
And think that to your point, greatly to your point, and a very good point. You see the action of the governor in Florida, DeSantis, is how he
Oh, I
skipped
follow
those
him.
books,
I'm
those
following
books, and
everything.
I
Yes.
don't.
yeah,
Mhm.
about
Well,
those. What he sent those books back.
mhm.
But one thing about that, if you get this book, it's called White Supremacy in Education. Now this guy,
Oh, honey, yeah.
now this guy, what he did is research back since the 1700s when they was putting these books in education. If it didn't have
Hmm.
white supremacy in there, the states will send it
Right.
back. They was doing what DeSantis is doing now. If
Hmm.
it didn't have white supremacy in those educational books, they'll send it back.
That's
And it's
it.
been
Wow.
doing this since the 1700s when they implemented education. And
Well,
this guy
because
researched that and put and showed
yes.
how it did and put it in the
But
books.
see, this is what I mean. Like, even if it's an online school, let's
Right.
speak to this.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a Afrocentric online learning that then goes off, into real life off of the
Mhm.
internet, you
Mm-hmm.
bring those two together. Look at how many people you could educate.
Right.
We
Right.
don't even own, like, I would even love to see a community college
Right.
that we own.
Right.
Right. That's
Exactly.
so I haven't did much research. Are the historical black colleges, those are owned by the state, right? No?
I don't know who they
Well,
own by
most
now,
most of the
child.
most of the college most of the historical black colleges is owned by the state or is owned by a white college. But
Okay,
the
so they're
way
not privately okay.
right. So what it
Mhm.
is if you research and go to documentary as far as how the Rockefeller implemented education, you will see. Now,
Oh, my favorite line, Vaughn, is I
now
don't want a
on
world
Howard,
of thinkers, honey. I
right?
want workers.
On Howard board, you have Clark, those ones in Georgia. You know
Hmm.
that the Vanderbilts and the Rockefeller sits on those boards.
Yeah, of
And,
course
and-
they
and-
I didn't
do.
know
yeah, and you know this. See, people didn't
That's
listen
the
to this.
only way that I'm sorry, Viner. That was the only way they could keep it. They needed that money.
Right, But
They weren't producing anything.
People didn't listen to Omarosa. I know people might see, but listen to what she said when she got let go. She said, and Trump said it was illegal, but listen to what she said. She said, what I was trying to do was get the money to go straight to the colleges. See, Thurgood Margaret College Fund and the United Negro College Fund, matter of fact, it was a guy in 1921 was the first person that was the leader of the United Negro College Fund. It's been white the whole time. So just think about that. So,
but there was no other way. They had to allow us to do it. Exactly. And that's the thing.
And that's the thing. And what she did is, see, what those companies do and those foundations do, they lend money to the colleges. So when they lend money to the colleges, they're waiting for their money come from the federal government. This how it works.
Come on.
So when the colleges go into debt, oh, no problem. We'll get you out of debt because we're going to make twice as much when we get our money from the government.
Exactly. Right. That's why they do the students the way that they do. That's why tuition is so high. Because they're trying to make that money.
They're trying to get that money.
If that, and I think this is why I am so staunch on creating a hub. Oh, you like that? You like staunch? Yeah. I'm smart. I know a few words. Okay.
Yeah. I got you. I had to go look it up.
Right. Like my favorite word is resolute.
Right.
Oh, honey, yeah. Reciprocate. I love to reciprocate. That's what.
Right.
Let me tell y'all something. My ex told me one time, I'm tired of you using these words I don't understand. I was like, this is why we need to break up. Like this, we need to stop right now.
I used to you know what? I used to tell that to my ex-girlfriend when she used to talk to me because she was college bound. She used to talk to me, hold up, let me look it up first. Let me look it up.
But at least you looked it up. At least you looked it up. He didn't want to look up nothing. He wanted me to stop using these words.
Oh yeah? Oh man. No, she taught me.
And all I said was justification.
Yeah. No, she taught me a lot. She the words that she used, I used to look it up, and then like if I use words that I'm not supposed to use within it said, she'd be like, they don't belong there.
That was my mom. Yeah, that was my mom. She did not play. We were not allowed to speak slang in the house.
Right.
No matter what. We could play, but if she heard us outside saying some old ignorant shit, she was coming. And she would show up like a ninja.
Oh yeah.
Like it was like she had the softest feet.
Right.
She would just show up out of nowhere. Like I'd be in the kitchen sneaking, talking to my boy, a friend. Like I look up and she like, don't you have school tomorrow?
Wow.
Good night. Good night.
Okay.
You know, I was looking up that because I use Chat GPT and sometimes they just be doing
I like Chat.
So when someone overuses big words, it's called sesquipedalian.
Oh,
it's called that's the word. It's called sesquipedalian.
Who was high when they wrote that up? Come on. Somebody had to be. Listen, it's after 9 for me. I might say anything to you.
Yeah, it's spelled. It's spelled. Let me get the spelling of it. But
that's why
I have to tell it not to be so much of that. But I was like, good gosh.
You can have a whole conversation with it. That's
SESQUIPEDALIN.
I'm gonna tear that all up.
SESQUIPEDALIN is when someone like just continuously overuses big words.
Oh yeah,
but I know that was different from it's different from what you were saying, but sometimes
no, I know what you mean.
ChatGPT be doing the most, and I'm like, no, I'm really trying to
I
like
will tell you.
take what you're saying, but
Right.
this ain't coming from me.
Right.
Okay.
They would use the
So
keys.
let's just be less
They would
that.
used to make fun of the Nation of Islam, but that's what they used to do all the time. Use those big.
Right. Yeah. They sure did. They sure
My brother.
did. I remember those little memes
Because
for
a situation
of
sanitation
of the
is what the white man,
espionage.
what the white man is doing. Only Islam is gonna freak us, my brother.
The aptitudination of the Caucasian in the insidious of just
You
all
don't
this
know.
shit.
Why are you talking to me like this?
I'm like,
no,
what?
I
Now,
do
now,
not.
can you,
I do
what
not
you
want to
just
buy
say?
your paper today. Like I had. Let me tell y'all something. It was either the Nation of Islam or the Jehovah's Witnesses that wanted to be outside
Right.
early in the damn morning, messing with me at my bus stop. I'm like, listen, I'm trying to go to work. Like, can y'all leave me alone? Like, I had a car, but it was easier. You know what I mean? It was easier for me to catch the bus. It was cheaper, no parking, right?
Right.
And plus, I work right downtown off the bus route. I was set every morning. Every morning. Ice cold. You know how it be frosty and dewy in the morning?
Mm-hmm. Like,
So
dude, I like that.
Right. And then the bus thing was enclosed, so it had like advertisements. So you couldn't see someone if they were coming around the corner. Child. This man come around that corner with that newspaper. I was like, okay, what we doing here? He was like, listen, sister, I know it's early in the morning, but there's no time to wait. God is awake. Allah is awake every day.
Wow.
Brother, every day.
I'm tired.
Would you like to buy? Look,
you
what
warm up
your
my
donation? What your donation is going to be the equation to stop the white man. And you're like, but I work for the white man. I can't. What am I stopping him from doing? Like, what we doing here? And then the Jehovah's Witness lady, no doubt, no knock on anybody that is in Islam. I was in Islam, raised in it, know it. The Nation of Islam is totally different from Islam in the Middle East. Okay, it just is totally different.
Because you got the whole story about your dad. And
yes. My father. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Von Eric, my dad was everything for everybody at every given moment, right? He would have. We were in the Jehovah's Witnesses. He became a pastor.
Right.
We had practiced Islam. I was like a preteen, coming into Islam. Everything was scary. You did something wrong. Everything. Allah was coming for you, right? If you chewing too much gum, Allah was coming for you. And you're like, but why? Why can't I chew gum though? Like, what is this? And then in a black house, you can't ask no questions. You better just do what they say and keep them calm, because the minute you start questioning, it's gonna be a problem. And see, I didn't know how to keep my mouth closed, so it was. Sometimes they would get me in trouble because I'd be like, I don't understand why I gotta do this though. Like, what does this have to do with where is this in the book? Like, can I see? But I could never get these answers. So then we went back into, my mother brought us back into Christianity, and we were Baptist. And so it was always a fun for something. It was always an event. Monday, Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday, I was at church for Bible study on Wednesday night. Don't I gotta get up? But it's okay. Like, I can't talk on the phone, but we can sit up here and keep listening to him say the same thing. He gonna say this on Sunday. Like, this is the same. It's the same story. And why y'all skip around? Let's start in the beginning. I need to know what's going on. I got kicked out of Sunday school, y'all. I'm just gonna keep it real. I was asking too many questions.
with that, I'm gonna ask y'all queens a question. I like to get some knowledge out
Sure.
of y'all. Because Autumn was talking about as far as what she went through as far as the apostolic, and then you just spoke of what you went through. What out of that? What would y'all keep, and what do y'all apply? Even though you things was rough in it, you didn't like it, or some things, but what good thing was in there that you did like, and you applied it to your life, and it's still within your life today?
That is a
You can
great
go first.
question.
That is a really
Okay.
excellent
That's a really
question.
great question. Um, I do still carry the need to help people. That is something that solidified. I always felt like that even as a little kid. Like I was always somebody was upset if you needed something. I was always the teacher, I was always the leader of the group. So it was like taking care of people. That's what I got from it, is that what was supposed to happen or what should be happening is that we need to be looking out for one another in different ways. We don't
Right.
necessarily have to be in someone's business in that level, but we can have an open hand and go, okay, listen, if you need assistance, if you're not feeling it, if you need guidance, those are the things I took from it. I will share an experience I had there that stuck with me forever, and it still sticks with me today. Um,
Mhm.
you know, I didn't know what my dad's intentions were, about he has some stuff going on. I'm gonna let that slide. But my mom was genuine about wanting to know if there was something else bigger than herself that could help guide her, right? My
Mhm.
mom didn't come from a heavy religious background. My grandparents went to church on like Easter, right? And that, you know what I mean? Like that was, Christmas maybe, right?
Mhm.
Um, when I was about 12, 13 years old, um, I I didn't understand why church affected me that way. The energy in the room would affect me in a way that I couldn't explain. So we were
Mhm.
at a you know how you'd always go to somebody else's church, right, for certain events and stuff. So we sitting in there, and I mean the music is banging. This is an old school church, so you got Jimmy on the guitar, like it was some hard, you know what I mean? That old school church, right? Everybody's energy is on level 10, singing. It just was a good time. I'm
Right.
sitting next to my friend. We're sitting in front of my parents, and I'm telling you this story through what my mom told me because I don't remember what happened. She said I was sitting there and I stood up. I was clapping because I always loved the music. I was in it, having I mean, I was there for it. She said it was like lightning struck me and I just almost fell out. But I didn't fall, right? And my friend Cody caught me, like she grabbed me, and the energy shot through her too. And we were like, she said it was almost like you were lifted in some kind of way. And I always used to say, y'all sure y'all wasn't doing nothing before y'all got to church? Was y'all was y'all doing anything, sus? And she was like, shut up, no. And I have always believed that there are certain types of energy, like we were talking about earlier, and I carry
Right.
that with me, my protection of my energy. And I know what I'm like when I give too much away. it,
Mhm.
it, it allowed me to seek something deeper, and I started to question, well, why? Well, what's the point of this? Why are we doing this? What do you mean by it's the Holy Spirit? What do you mean by, because what the closest example they could give me is like a quickening, right? And I
Right.
used to laugh and tell her, like, you can be only one quickening. Like, did I get a sword? Or she was like, I hate talking to you. But the truth of it, I had to make some kind of light of it because it was too dark. It was too heavy for me at that time. Like I'm 12, right? I'm 13 years old. Like I'm not putting that together. And it was like after that, it was like all this stuff happened in my life. some extremely good, some extremely bad. The energy was just popping. And I have been told over the years that my energy can, is strong, or they can see something. Because this lady walked up to my mother after it was all over and said, she got a light around her. You better protect her.
Mm.
And that
Right.
was it. Right. And my father was not, he wanted the shine for himself,
Mm.
Uh-huh.
but he never got it.
Wow.
He never got it. As much as he
Yeah.
cried
Yeah.
and prayed and did all the things, it was almost like my father would get up in the morning early on Sunday or Saturday. Oh my gosh. He'd be downstairs praying, and he would be praying and hollering so loud it would wake everybody up. And
Mm.
we're like,
Yeah.
why can't you just commune with the Lord by yourself? Like,
Right.
why are we involved? But like I said, to land my plane, it's like those those things stick with me.
Mm.
My ability to strengthen my energy and understand that, I mean, that's the only thing I have control over,
Mm.
is how I react to the energy. And it started letting me see people, for it was real creepy. It was like I could see your bullshit. Like, it was like I
Mm.
could see right through you.
Yeah.
And I've allowed it to come back because I had pushed it aside. I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't want to know everything. I didn't want to feel that, because I can get in a room of people and I can get anxious, and I get anxious not because the people scare me, but it's so much energy at one time.
Mm.
Like, it
Right.
it does that to me even to this day. But yeah, that's my story. Go ahead, Autumn.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink some. I'm thirsty.
Right. I would say what I took from it was the experience of the spiritual feeling, um, the things that science can't measure. Those different phenomenons that actually happen that I've experienced. I'll take from that, so I know that there is let the quantum mechanics stuff that science can't figure out our the rhythm of being just this our spirit, right? So I take that, and I believe that's positive because we still need that, and that's relevant. And then also I would say the structure of the having just having being account us having accountability partners, the what is it called, the hierarchy, the protocol of when you go, the chain of command,
Mm.
that because I feel that we need that as a people, to be able to delegate ourselves to make shit happen, right? So
Mm.
that part. So I'll take from that. And then also um because everybody is, there's so many different energies and people got different issues and stuff in the church and life and all that stuff. But when we are focused on this particular task,
Mm.
right, that is what we are that's what our agenda is, regardless if you don't like her or you ain't or you can't get here, I'm gonna pick you up. So that being able to be, what is it called, having a unified just having us focused on one thing, and
Right.
we all are on one accord.
The
So I would
community.
say I
The
would say
community part.
that part, because I feel like that's how you are able to see results, when you see different when we all are on one accord, and there's no
Division.
nobody. Yeah, division. Yeah, I'm just talking. Yeah. So that part, no division or just no distraction. We're all on one accord. We know what we know what we're here for. There's a structure. There's a chain of command. There's an agenda. There's a plan. This is what we're going to do. This is the time to start. This is what we're working towards, and that's what we're focused on. So
Yeah.
the spiritual aspect, the chain of command, and then the unified, just being unified and focused on certain tasks, which whether it's a bake sale, whether it's the choir robes, whether it's the pastor appreciation, whatever it is, we that's what we celebrate and that's what our focus is. So that part.
What about what y'all experienced that it was disturbing, and y'all do not apply that to your life? And are y'all grateful that you did go through it because it helped you grow within the life and help you be who you are today, of things that you experienced that you would not apply to your life?
Well,
May
come
may I
on,
may I say
sir.
something real quick
Yes,
before?
I'm so sorry. I
No, it's
didn't
fine. It's
see
fine.
you.
No,
Come
it's
on
okay.
up.
It's
This
okay.
is
It's
Mr.
okay.
Best.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm
I,
sorry.
I, I came up here again because I seen what y'all was building on. Then also, I'm glad to. I like the point that Sister Autumn was making. And I see my big brother Vaughn up here. I said, man, I got to come up here, my big brother, for real.
So,
So, what's going on, big brother? Much love, peace and blessings. But
bless.
yeah, I think that what she was building on was definitely, it's definitely essential. I would say that we have to understand that the game that's being played, the cards are not in our favor.
Mm,
So we have understanding that we're going to play the game completely different. You know what I'm saying? And you have to
Right.
understand that they can change and I hate when black people say, "Wait, who are they?" Y'all know who they are. When they pull you over, you know who they are. When you got
right.
to pay your tax,
Right.
they are. When you go
Exactly.
on that job interview, you know who they are. You know who they are when it counts. But when I'm telling you about some real stuff, you want to ask me who is they? Y'all know who they are.
Right.
Now let's stop playing these
Mhm.
semantic games and these word games. Now we know that when it comes to them or they, when the rules apply to them, they change the rules.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? They always
It's
find
called
loopholes. They always make a new rule,
Yes. Come on now.
and then we have to basically, adapt to that. You know what I mean? We could work at companies. We could have different things set up. We could be doing these things for years, right? For decades. Have things lined up. We could have our credit straight. We can have all these things straight, and we can go to a bank and say, "Hey, listen, I want to take out a loan. I have the credentials. I have the references. Can I have a loan?" And they will tell you no, just based on the fact that you are you.
right.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And we know these
Yes.
things exist. So let's stop playing these games. We understand how the rules of the games are played. So
That's
that's why
right.
Right.
unity isn't important just because we just want to get along and we want to just have black power and it feel good. That's part of it, right? Who don't want to be unified? Who don't want to have a good time? Who don't want to have love and unity
Right.
and peace? Everybody wants that. At the end of the day, that's the end goal, right? No,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
so old and to have that. We all that's all the end goal, right? I want to
Right.
get
Right.
old. I want to have love, peace, and a family and all. We all want that.
Exactly.
That's a human necessity. That's a human drive. It's within our spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's within our ethos and our essence. So I think that based on that, you know what I mean, we want that. But also we got to be unified because we understand how the game is played out here.
Come on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Come
we got
on.
about it. We got to be real about it. And we done seen
That's it.
our biggest and brightest be taken advantage of, whether it's in politics,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's in media, whether it's in music, whether it's in whatever field you want to talk about. Sports or athletics, academics, anything, any type of field you want to talk about. We done seen our biggest and brightest be taken advantage of. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And be used and abused, and not being financially compensated, not being given credit. You know what I mean? Basically
Yeah.
being blackballed and basically being
Mm-hmm.
demonized, right? For things
Right.
that
Mm-hmm.
personally create and we personally invest in. And
Right.
we've
Hmm.
seen this throughout our whole time in this country, but yet we still turn around and act like we don't know what the
Come
hell.
on. Don't even say, listen, don't get me started,
Now,
sir. Come on.
I think that also that we also have to change and do certain things within ourselves. Now, black people is not perfect. Perfect. No race is perfect.
No one is. No.
If a black person do something wrong or do something, only thing we see is what black people doing. Black people doing this. Black women doing this. Black guys are doing this, and that's
Hmm.
all we see. So when we get on social media and you report a black, make sure you got a white person right beside it, a Chinese person or an Asian person right beside it because they commit the same crime too. Don't just project what black people is doing. Why
Right.
keep doing what the system
Well,
is doing and not
and to your point,
change that mind? Byron
Mhm.
Allen went to the Supreme Court about the 1866 law. Now think about this. When he went to court, he went against the cable company. One of them was Comcast.
Right,
Comcast
right,
that owned
exactly.
Universal,
Mm-hmm.
and NBC. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when he was in court fighting this, look what happened. Comcast is a left-wing organization. They were speaking against Donald Trump, speaking against him, saying he was racist. But do you know this is unprecedented? Donald Trump, the government, went to the court with and fought on the same side as Comcast. So you got the right wing and the left wing working together to go against this black man on an 1866 law that has been unprecedented. You can research that they say it's having never been done in the
They know.
Supreme Court. So
Mm.
just think about
I didn't know that.
what just happened. Now the
Mm-hmm.
only reason Comcast didn't fuss, and a lot of people don't know this, is because the biggest minority investor in Comcast is a black union. They went to Comcast
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Hey, do y'all know what y'all doing? Are y'all serious right now? We are your we. You know we invested in you, and
Mm-hmm.
y'all going to sit there and go against this man about an
Mm-hmm.
1866 law, which he has every right to do." Von
Right.
Allen said he didn't get loans until the 2000s, in the late 2000s from banks.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a
And who was president then?
he had Obama and Donald Trump as president. So that goes to show
Don't
it's not
matter.
just the right wing or the left wing.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
the
Doesn't
Thank
entire
matter.
you.
system.
It doesn't.
Uh-oh. You
We
about to
just
make
talked
me
about
change
this
this
last
title. We
time.
about to get into some rah-rah because I'm telling you,
Right. You
there,
should change the
there,
title.
yeah, there is a necessary need for us to have these conversations. And like I said, I ain't never too good, and I will adapt. You hear what I'm saying?
Oh no,
So
that's fine.
it's like I got the opportunity and to speak to both of you gentlemen. Thank y'all for coming up. Because when I have these conversations and I say these things, because it's coming from my face and my mouth, especially when I'm in a room of nothing but men,
Mhm.
I have to be on point with mine. And I like to do that anyway. But you're not going to shake me from the square that says it's not enough. We playing, and you playing in my face, and you're wanting to tell me that if I close my legs, that's gonna make everything great in the black community. If I get married, that's gonna solve all the black problems. Those are kind of specialty items.
Mhm.
Okay. It ain't no
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you gonna open your legs, ain't no guarantee you gonna get married. It
Right.
just is not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I can say is that we still lack education among black boys.
Mhm.
They still are the lowest on the rung.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
then when I look at the money that has been made by black men on the internet
Mhm.
over these last 3 years,
Mhm.
we can have a whole community. We could have communities everywhere,
Mhm.
even if it was small.
Yeah.
And what's interesting to me is when I say that, or I go, okay, we need to do such and such, it's a problem.
Right.
When I talk about that, we can build this, right? We can build this within the chaos. Other
Mm-hmm.
communities have done it, because in the 90s, like we was saying earlier, it was people from the Middle East
Right.
and either China or Vietnam
Right.
or somewhere like that, or East Indian, who were running the different stores that we frequent.
Right.
So how can you tell me that we couldn't have prospered if we got our own? I think a lot of it, and I know a lot of people disagree with me, but a lot of it is fear.
Right.
You don't want to do it, so you don't want to support somebody else doing it for the black community, especially a black woman at this time, because it's only because at this given time y'all want control of something.
You talk about the black men, the black men.
Yes,
Right?
I'm talking about the black man, because again,
Or some
his
black
control. Well, right. Thank you for saying that. I know that's. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean.
Right. Right.
However, the black men who are about the community and 10 toes down get pushed aside. And I don't mean it like, oh, they're not looked at. It's just that they don't get the same fight
You
and
don't
vitriol.
Notoriety,
Right.
like people don't really like
you don't
listen to them too much, or they're not out
Mm.
there as much as other.
No, that's
I personally think that it's and I don't mean to like cut you off, but I did want to
no,
say
please go ahead.
that I feel like whatever it is that we, like I was given the example about the church and having one agenda, whatever that is, whether it's small, a bake sale, to getting pastors the robes to the church, or whatever it is, that in we all are they're all Christians, but everybody has their own things that they going through in their household. But when they come
Right.
together, they have one agenda. I would say that we need to have the same type of have the same type of agenda, but in our personal households. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So we can have an example. Like, I feel like if we start,
Right.
using, we look at things from just a like a bird's eye view, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that our issue, because of our, being displaced and all of our issues, that we have to kind of bring it in and focus on our immediate family, our immediate, what are our day-to-day actions, our habits, what we're thinking, really apply it to our lives. And once we see changes happening, just little changes, even just starting your day different, and choosing to speak different, choosing to, I think once we see those things being implemented, good things, or whatever the goal, just say, just goal setting being implemented in
Mm-hmm.
our lives on a personal level, when no one's around other than work,
Right.
other than going to school, then
Mm-hmm.
that becomes a habit. Then we can take those habits to our family, then we can take it to our extended family, then we can build on that. But we have to establish the personal before we can go to the
Right.
masses,
Exactly.
because I don't believe that our we are completely disciplined in cooperate economics, and then supporting each other. And I don't think I butchered that word, but I don't, but
No,
I
you
just, and I'm
got it.
taking that from experience, because there's things that I would like to do and I would like to see. But I know that goal setting and creating, decision making, and that process and planning can be implemented in my life, and that would just improve my day to day, just for me. And I need to do that more. And so it will be hard for me to obligate myself to do something on a broader level if I'm not even implementing that in my life. So that's just my personal opinion, that I think that we
Well,
can't
I
do it
agree.
unless we kind of focus inward.
Well, I think that was very phenomenal what you said, especially you two, Chocolate. And thank y'all for answering my question, because I would take that wisdom that y'all passed on to me, and I'll make sure I pass it on to other women and guys that can use y'all wisdom and help them to grow. Um,
Right.
I also believe that so quick to judge one another, quickly to judge because we see someone who act a certain way, and we
Mm-hmm.
so quick to judge. I seen an interview with Dave Chappelle did on LinkedIn's thing, and he said, "You don't know what a person is going through. Just because a person is acting different, why call them crazy?" He said, "That's dismissive." He said, "Why call them a name or why disrespect them? You don't know when a woman says, or she's hollering, she's fussing. You don't know what she went through. You don't know. You never walked in her shoes or his shoes.
Hold on.
You don't know how he was raised. You don't know if it was abused, she was molested, anything what people are going through,
You don't know if
especially
she was
within
fired.
in Black community, you don't know, especially the way the system is being structured for people to act a certain way so they can take advantage of them. You do not know. So why be so quick to make a judgment and call them this and call them that? If a woman wants to be independent, that's what she was raised. That's what she decided. Let her be. That doesn't mean she will be that way for the rest of her life. She's at a position in
that
which
is pretend. That's the pretend game.
Right. So
okay, hold on, Vaughn. I want to ask y'all a question. Give me just a second. So the system I'm on is counting me down. Like it gives me 2 hours for free. So if y'all don't mind, I'm going to drop down. So we're going to end the broadcast here because I want to continue the conversation. And then I'm going to bring it right back up like in 2 minutes. So can you guys hang out for me?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Hold your thought, Von Eric. Come back. All
Give
me just a few minutes and I'm going to pop it back up. Okay?
Got it.
You said come back? So just come back?
Come back. Just come back. Yep. Okay. All right. Hey, let me see. Remove. Hey. I appreciate everybody coming. We've had like this flow of conversation, so I'm not mad at things going. Those who do want readings, please come back. I'm happy to do those for you as well. I can multitask. So I want to keep the energy going. Please come back. I'll probably have it right back up in less than 5 minutes. Many blessings, and I'll be back. Thank you.